Hi, we out here driving in Tron, our Ocean One. Tron, he's spending a lot of time hanging out in his garage, surfing YouTube, since he has unlimited access to the internet. And he saw somebody made a video claiming that the solar sky in the Ocean One and Extreme does not charge the battery while driving. However, now we're out here driving. We're doing about 70 miles an hour on the freeway, and our solar sky is actually charging. We got 79, sometimes 80, 81% putting into the battery right now. So Tron just wanted us to dispute that statement that somebody made. I'm guessing the person who made that statement might be somebody who had borrowed the car, maybe to test drive it, and was a little bit inexperienced. But here it is, 80%. We're doing it. So debunked. So another thing Tron mentioned, he was upset about somebody saying about his sun visors. There was a reviewer who was testing the car and didn't like this fold down sun visor we have here. And the comment was that the fold would give a crack so that when you had the sun on it, the sun would come through here. Now I'm passing some trees, but hopefully, I'm guessing now you should be able to see the sun. Here's the sun. Here's the sun visor, but there's no crack. The design is so that there's a flap or lip that is covering the division between the two halves. So I would say that statement and complaint is also debunked. Another thing Tron was complaining about was, I think it's about a month ago, that the Consumer Reports had tested either an Ocean One or an Extreme. And it's disappointing to hear that their complaint was that the regenerative braking was too strong, and it was so that the passengers became nauseous. Plus, they talked about how there was a lot of lag on the response from the accelerator pedal. So the last one, response from the accelerator pedal, that's easy to fix. Right hand on the steering wheel, you can choose between Earth, Fun, and Hyper, as everybody should know by now. And I would compare Earth to be the same as driving a diesel car with a turbocharger. That you step on the accelerator and not much is happening in the beginning until the engine starts revving up, and then you get the power. That's about the same we get on this one. If you put into Fun, that might be the same as driving a let's call it more like a muscle car, a gasoline muscle car with a supercharger, where you get instant power and it's pretty quick. And then if you put in Hyper, that is where you get the crazy power that you will get from an EV. I normally stay in either Earth or Fun. When I go far, I stay in Earth. If I'm driving around town, I stay in Fun, just so that I can zip around people if I need to. And I think that's perfect. When it comes to the regenerative braking setting that is set to high as default, then you also have medium and low. What Consumer Reports complained about was that passengers were getting nauseous from the high regenerative braking. And I would say that has to be down to the driver. If the driver is unable to keep their foot steady, I've ridden with people who use the accelerator like an on-off switch, and you sit in the back of the car and you get whiplash because your head is bobbing back and forth. If it's a person like that who's trying to drive an EV with the same technique, of course you're going to make your passengers nauseous. So I think that Consumer Reports probably have some inexperienced drivers, or maybe they're just lazy, or they're trying to find something to complain about. But I thought it was unfair because you can change the settings. So if you're unable to drive the car with let's call the high power setting and high regen, well, choose something that you can handle. You choose medium or choose low. If you choose medium, say if you're on high, it is probably more like you're driving an old tractor with a diesel engine. As soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, it will slow down very fast because you got a big engine slowing you down. If you're on medium, it is probably more like driving a normal size, maybe a V6 with a standard automatic transmission with a torque converter that most Americans will know about. And then if you put it down in low, that is more like if you step on the clutch on a normal car with a manual transmission and almost let it coast. But there are settings for everybody. So if you're unable to have a steady foot, choose something that you can control, and your passengers should be happy. So I thought that the dings that Consumer Reports gave the Fisker Ocean were unfair, because I think there was operator error. And it's a shame that Consumer Reports kind of stooping down to the same level as I think his name is MKBHD. It's like now they cannot be trusted anymore because they're not honest, they're not fair, they're amateurs trying to pretend to do a professional job, and it's a bummer.